Okay, we got 2 trailers here for the Dragon Age Veilguard. I'll say this because I was gonna say it before I started the recording. I think the gameplay looks decent. It just doesn't feel like Dragon Age to me. So I'm curious to watch. I'm curious to see these 2 trailers, which will hopefully dive into the gameplay a bit. Just to see if I'm crazy, if I'm wrong, I don't know. But let's start with the Blighted Dragon gameplay trailer. BioWare.
We've gotten
Osberger
word from the
Wetlands.
wardens.
Have they found Gillenane?
Not yet, but they found something else worth killing. One of her blighted dragons.
A weird line read on that.
You made it. Good.
Wouldn't miss it. We have unfinished business with that dragon.
Sometimes the line reads in this game, and from all the trailers I've seen, it's all the same. It almost feels like the voice actor is not in the scene. It's like they're reading off a line as if it was for a trailer. It's really, really off-putting, but you can just tell that it doesn't feel like the character is actually in that moment.
We've tracked it to a ruined tower nearby.
Not all of them, but some of them.
That lair is a death trap. We need to lure her out to have any chance.
Granted, what they could be doing is taking lines from another scene where that kind of style makes sense, and they're just overlaying it here, which is probably what they're doing.
So we challenge her, draw the dragon out into the open, then attack. Just you and me now.
Why did they show a Kunari? I don't know, dude. The Kunari character aesthetics in this game are just really weird.
Everyone, get ready.
Wardens! Ready ballistic!
He doesn't look that bad. Not as bad as the Quagmire from the character customization video.
Wait for it.
Come on. Come on.
Why are you standing? What are you doing standing there? Dude, a dragon's about to come out. You're looking down in the fucking hole? Are you stupid? You should be lucky it didn't kill you. You missed at point blank?
Hit the wings. Force her to land. Second detachment. Flank on the walls. Let's go.
Wait, why the cuts in gameplay? Just show the whole thing. I don't know if it's just me, but the indicators on hit are really hard to distinguish, if there are any. You know, I need some feedback. There needs to be some player feedback that lets me know, hey, you are hitting this thing. And it's kind of easy to miss that, it seems. Wait, are there even any player indicators? Any hit indicators, I mean? There aren't. Are they turned off or something? There's one there. I mean, maybe they did it for like immersion purposes for the trailer recording, but I also, you know, if I'm playing a mage character, a ranged character, and I'm fighting something like this, which is pretty fast, this dragon is pretty agile, I would like some indicators that my hits are landing. Or, you know, a little like, especially with like magic, like a little explosion at the location where it's landing, just so I can see it, right? Don't have to be damage numbers or anything, but just something. Was that a hang on attack, or was it just slowed down? Debilitate. Whoa, hold on. Debilitate, meteor, fire breath. That is a crazy attack delay. That's like an Elden Ring bullshit attack delay. I'll say a couple things about the boss fight right now before it finishes. It really doesn't look that bad. The issue that I have is with the same issue that I have with a lot of games with their boss arenas, where it's literally just a circle. There's no progression in the boss fight. And I think that if you take a look at some of the most memorable fights in like visual mediums, especially like anime, with, you know, people love Dragon Ball. I'm not a big Dragon Ball fan, but I understand what Dragon Ball does and why it's enjoyable for a lot of people. And one of the things that it does really well is these fight scenes that evolve scene to scene. You know, you'll have fighting that takes place over the course of multiple different arenas or even scales. And when you have a game like this, I mean, also fighting games do this pretty well, but usually with these action games like this, you have this singular, circular, flat arena, and nothing changes during the fight. There's no escape like in Monster Hunter. You know, you'll have the arenas changing because the monster will run to a different place or will knock you down into a different area, and therefore your terrain changes, your ability to see it maybe during different weather, or if it, I don't know, who knows? It's just nothing is changing about this fight. There's no evolution, and I think that lack of it kind of sometimes makes it less memorable than it could have been had you even done one arena change during the boss fight. Even one. Make it get scared, break through this fence a bit, and now you're fighting it down maybe in some canyon or something. I don't know, just do something different with it. Circular arenas are boring, I guess is what I'm trying to say. A lot of combos just went off there. Oh wait, are they actually gonna do it?
Second dragon!
I spoke too soon. Maybe they are actually gonna do it.
Bring that first one down!
Vaughn!
No. Dude, you see a tentacle slap?
Villainy.
Consume their flesh, shatter their bones. Your battle is already lost.
But it's more like a fake out than I mean, I don't mind it because I don't really know the story of before and after what happens here. But it's more like, oh, you almost killed it, but then, you know, fake out, it's not really dead. Now you'll have to fight both dragons at some point in the future. Which I guess, whatever, you know, could be cool. I will say that I appreciate at least the darker tone of this trailer compared to some of the previous ones I've seen. The bitrate's really bad during some of this. Like if I don't move, you guys can see how bad the bitrate is scene to scene here. I suppose we'll see. I'm still on the fence. I just need to know. I need to play more. We'll be playing it live though. So if you're curious what it's gonna be like, I'll be doing a full playthrough of it. All right, let's check out the second one. Mage build deep dive. It seemed the mage seemed very fast paced. I will say I can at least appreciate that they didn't do what Inquisition did, which Inquisition's fighting was really, really slow and really, really simplistic.
I'm Hillary Heidi, a producer at BioWare.
Okay.
Let's take a closer look at the mage build we featured at the recent State of Play. I call this build the Dragon Killer because my gear and skills have been optimized to take on a powerful boss, this Ice Dragon. As a mage, I can switch between 2 weapon sets, a staff for ranged attacks, or an elemental orb and dagger for close quarters combat.
Do all characters have the ability to have 2 different weapon sets, or is that just a mage thing?
I'm facing off against an Ice Dragon, which is vulnerable to fire, so I've equipped Earth Emerald's Ash as my element.
Okay, so some fire damage, some stagger. Hey, Anomalies. How you doing? Burning duration. Burning enemies deal minus 25 damage for the duration. That's wild. That's cool. It's wild, though. Minus 25 damage. +1 maximum burning stacks and plus 20% burning damage per stack, which seems like it was either... That's either like a legendary additional... That's crazy. That's wild. That's a really good... I mean, I don't know how this game plays, but that seems like a really good elemental orb.
Elemental orb. It reduces enemy damage, makes burning last longer and do more damage, and increases the cap on burning stacks.
It's crazy.
My dagger, Thorn of Misfortune, gives me access to...
You can see +4 too, so there is some sort of upgrading that you can do to these, to this gear. Creating an arcane bomb requires 1 fewer arcane mark. Why is that locked?
The physical damage type, and synergizes with my affliction-based build, increasing the damage of arcane bombs, which
You know what I bet it is? Because this was unlocked on the legendary item, there may be a way to upgrade the tier of item. So there's a way to like boost the item's stats itself, which I guess are the, you know, the raw damage stats or the defense stats, but then there's a way to increase the rarity as well, which can unlock additional suffixes.
I build up with...
You ever seen the Unity roadmap? I've not seen that, no.
with repeated orb attacks. I've further powered up my afflictions by equipping this death mask, which will give me a nice damage boost.
What are afflictions?
You'll notice my armor set looks a bit different than the icon. That's because I'm making use of the game's transmog system to set my appearance to this Tevinter Mage robe I purchased in Docktown. Let's switch over to my character's skill tree, where I've further enhanced my ability to take on this Ice Dragon. Elemental Catalyst gives my abilities plus 15% bonus damage. In this case, fire damage, since both my staff and orb are fire-based.
Crazy.
Inner Focus generates 25% extra mana from successful light attacks, and that number is doubled against enemies suffering from an affliction, like burning. So each time I attack my burning enemies, I'll generate 50% extra mana, allowing me to cast powerful spells like Meteor more often. Let's take...
See, I wonder if the game, you know, because some of these sound really, really overpowered. Some of these perks, which is kind of cool. So I want to know, is the game balanced around that, where this feels necessary? Or is it more of a... Is it more casual? I guess, is it more casual friendly? Is it more hardcore? And, you know, how does it... Because 50%, that's crazy. And all these, like, damage boosts are like 25, 30%, which seems like it should stack up to be quite a bit. So if you don't do this sort of min-maxing, are you punished pretty hard? Or, you know, how does it feel? Just me where these skill webs look very complicated for a casual gamer. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, where it's like, who are they trying to target here? Because they've said like this is the this is the Mass Effect 2 for Dragon Age, right? Or something, which, I mean, I don't really understand the point of saying that, but Mass Effect 2 was not a complex game, you know? It's not like you had a whole bunch of skills to choose from, and, you know, you were min-maxing which armor your Shepard was wearing. It was very, very casual friendly. It was very story driven. This feels deeper than I would have thought. Definitely deeper than Inquisition. So I'm curious to see. It feels like an MMORPG. It's weird. It's like they don't show enough gameplay unedited for me to make a really good assessment. They either show cinematic trailers or this like cut to cut gameplay. But maybe we'll see some more of it here.
Take a look at some additional skills I've unlocked by choosing a
Yeah, you do have different specializations. Can you only choose one specialization? I assume so. So you have like a Spellblade specialization, Deathcaller, and Evoker.
I've unlocked by choosing a specialization for my Rook. In this case, Spellblade, which blends magic and melee. With the electrical burns passive, my fire attacks stack even more afflictions on.
Applying burning also applies shocked. Applying shocked also applies burning. It feels like PoE in some ways. I don't know. It's like there's some inspiration from PoE here, it feels like. Sounds like a theme many devs do to make people buy with the concept of come find out. Yeah, I think you're right about that.
My targets, applying the shocked affliction whenever I applied burning, and vice versa. And finally, my Spellblade ultimate ability, Thunderous.
Conjure a deadly avatar of the storm to seek vengeance on your enemies, deals heavy damage and applies 2 stacks of shocked. But do we know what shocked does? Is it like PoE shocked where the enemy takes more damage, or what is it?
Unleashes a massive amount of damage, shocking enemies in a wide radius. Perfect against a large target like a dragon. Let's return to our battle with the Ice Dragon to talk about synergies and combos. Here I've got the dragon staggered. This is my
It kind of transitioned into that stagger mode really quickly. It was really weird.
combos. Here I've got the dragon staggered. This is my opportunity to deal as much damage as possible while it's down.
Okay.
Detonations are a great way to do this.
What other game had that where you set up combos and it caused a detonation? What other game was like that? There's something that this is very similar to.
Detonation can be set up with Lucanus's Debilitate ability, which applies the Sundered status, followed by Rook's Dark Squall, which detonates sundered targets.
I mean, I like that. I like the combo system. I like that you build around combos. Yeah, I think that works fine. Apply Sundered, which I guess is a debuff that lowers, defense or something.
Applies the Sundered status, followed by Rook's Dark Squall, which detonates sundered target.
The only weird complaint, I don't know if it's a complaint, but let me put it this way. You design your attacks to have, AoEs, to have debuffs, to have a damage type like you can see here with this one, which does poison damage, and this one, which does cold damage, right? It just feels like this extra layer being applied on there that maybe doesn't need to be with this detonation mechanic. Where it's like now I'm not trying to think about what the enemy is weak to, but how to apply detonations, Favorite game had this? Can I drop a link? Yeah, you can. Go for it. So I like the detonation mechanic. I like the combo mechanic. I'm a little concerned that the game will focus too heavily on the detonations and combos, and it'll be less important about finding vulnerabilities and avoiding resistances, because Dark Squall here causes ice damage. And yet the enemy is resistant to ice damage. So, like, you know, where's the damage coming from here? If the damage is coming from detonations, then it doesn't feel like I need to worry too much about the element that the original attack is doing. I need to just focus on detonations. And I'm a little worried about that. Cost a bit of damage.
I'll follow this up with Tasha's Fire Breath to apply burning damage. Normally, I'd have to wait for my companions to cool down before I could use their abilities for another combo.
Yeah.
But I've got a secret weapon up my sleeve. The Dreadwolf's Delirium Dagger. My dagger is equipped with 3 runes. I'll toggle to the Regroup rune and activate it, instantly refreshing my companion cooldowns.
OP.
With my companion's full suite of abilities available, let's finish this thing. I'll once again use Lucanus's Debilitate to set up a detonation, and this time I'll trigger it with my Meteor attack, all while Tasha's Fire Breath keeps the dragon burning. And I'll finish the job with my powerful ultimate ability, Thunderous End.
The combat does not look bad. But I need to see more. I need to play it. I just need to see more. I don't know. It really does not look bad. And I know I'm going to catch some flack for that, but those are my initial feelings. I think that the combat is pretty well designed. I do wish that hit indicators were a bit more obvious. And I'm a little worried that the focus on detonations will detract from the elemental damage that you do, which could make the game kind of simplistic, where it's, oh, let me just make sure I have detonations set up, and whatever the ability does doesn't really matter, which I don't think should be the case. I would rather it be the other way around. And where detonations are more, not very impactful if the enemy has resistance to the skills that are causing that detonation, and are more, take more damage if they are vulnerable to it. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll play the game.